Hari Om everyone. Let's learn today's shloka from Karma Sanyasa Yoga 5.18. vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śhuni chaiva śhva-pāke cha paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśhinaḥ. The truly learned with the eyes of divine knowledge see with equal vision a Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Vidya, divine knowledge. Vinaya, humbleness. Sampanne, equipped with. Brahmane, a Brahmin. Gavi, a cow. Hastini, an elephant. Śhuni, a dog. Cha, and. Eva, certainly. śhva-pāke, a dog eater. Cha, and. paṇḍitāḥ, the learned. Sama-darśhinaḥ, see with equal vision. Let's understand the shloka. Each of you can come up with your own understanding. Who wants to go first? Ishaji?
I really cannot say much.
She needs time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give a little explanation.
Or can Mangalaji start?
Sure. Yeah, please. Mangalaji?
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನಾನ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡ
ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
Yeah.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ.
ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅರ್ಥನ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು.
ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ನಾನು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಬಂತಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು.
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಯಾ. Padmaji, you want to go?
Yeah. So here, the truly learned with the eyes of divine knowledge see with equal vision a Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. So here, in this shloka, it is referred to the Atman in all, the divine in all, that a learned person or a realized person is able to see. Like in this picture on the left, it is seen that he can see the divine in the dog, in the elephant, in the cow, and everyone he can see the divine. So what does this indicate? That when he sees the divine, that means, see, when you see the divine in something, you are able to be kind and compassionate towards that particular person or to that animal. Because see, if we take a nature of say even a lion or even an elephant for that matter, they look so huge to us when they come near us, right? It is a bit scary. I mean, we have mostly encountered elephants in the temples or in zoos where there is a person who is taking care of the elephant, to whom the elephant is listening to. So we are, we stand there and enjoy the show. However, the same cannot be said about if we encounter an elephant on the way somewhere or in the forest. So it is entirely different. But what does the divine in that means is, you see the elephant as something divine. However, it has its own nature. Depending upon the form and the body it is taking in right now, it has a certain nature to it. And it is expected of us to respect its nature and treat it with kindness and compassion as far as we can. So that is what I have understood from this shloka. Another way how I can relate to is, for example, in our day-to-day life, we have our children. So we should see the divine in them. We see the divine in them. However, there are times when you have to admonish them, when you have to scold them, when you have to correct them. So in that case, I cannot have an opinion that, okay, you are the divine, so you can do whatever you want. and I will keep seeing the divine in you. That is not the right way. It is that, yes, there is a divine in you. So instead of, when you have that bhava in mind that he is also divine, my child is also divine, maybe the right kind of words will come to you. You won't unnecessarily act out. You won't unnecessarily say hitting. You won't do such things. You will try and reason out as far as possible. So being kind and compassionate comes along with that bhava when you see something or someone as divine. So even if I have to say, inanimate objects that are there within our house, there is Brahman, even there is Brahman, everything is Brahman. So when we treat that also as divine, we will have some respect, no, for the table, chair, or pencil, or whatever non-living thing also. Without them, we cannot function fully or efficiently. So when we see the divine in that also, we are able to respect it and use it well. So that is how I am seeing this shloka.
Thank you, Padmaji. Shubhaji, do you want to also translate in Kannada in a
Kannada
summary
translation.
of what Padmaji said?
I can't come fluently so well. ಮಂಗಳಾಜಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ?
ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೊಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಓದಿದ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದ್ದವರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ ನನಗೆ. ನಾಯಿ ತಿನ್ನುವವರು, ಹಸು, ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್, ಅದ್ರನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ತರದ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಂದೇ ತರ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಓದಿದವರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಒಂದು ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ್ ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದರನ್ನ ಅವರು ನೋಡುದು. ನಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಡಾಗ್ ಆರ್ ಎ ಡಾಗ್ ಈಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಮೇನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು.
ಅದೇ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಾದವರು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸಮವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಹೌದು. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾದವರು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಸಮವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ವಿತ್ ಹಂಬಲ್ನೆಸ್. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದ್ದವರು ಹಂಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಒಂದೇ ಸಮವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಡವ ಇವನು
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು
ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತಾರತಮ್ಯ.
ನಾಯಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ಹಸು ಆಗಲಿ, ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಮನುಷ್ಯ, ಮೇಲೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ, ಆ ತರ ಭೇದ ಭಾವ ನೋಡದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಮ ಅಂತ ನೋಡುವವರು ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುದು. Okay, yeah, thank you.
So Padmaji, so the confusion starts when one is if everything is a clear manifestation of or pure manifestation of Brahman, then like you will never see anything that will disappoint or hurt or any of those emotions. It will not invoke, right? But the problem starts with when someone says something wrong or does something wrong, right?
No, here when we say that we see the divine in everyone, doesn't mean we treat them like that, okay? Because like you said, the manifestation at that point, the form that is playing out there is not, it's colored by ego, right? It's colored by ego, it's colored by conditioning, everything. That's why I said that an elephant in its pure nature, because it is tamed when it is in a temple or it is in a zoo, we are able to stand in front of it. However, when you go to a forest, you can never encounter a single elephant, isn't it? They are always in a herd. So
it is still manifestation of Brahman, and why should one be?
No. See, even we are. That's what I said. That's why I gave the example of our own kids. See, they are Brahman only. Like just like we are Brahman, they are also Brahman. But But the thing is, at that point, in that particular body, they are doing something. Some action is happening through them. Correct? Now, that action need not be always according to divine, or need not be always divine. Right? For example, if they say, I will not study, or there are two children, you have two kids, and they just have a fight and they start hitting each other. Right? So in that time, you cannot say that these two are divine and they are Brahman, and you cannot just sit, I am also Brahman, let all of us sit and let anything happen.
But what happens is,
Obviously, you have to intervene and you have to stop. So seeing divine in something doesn't mean you have to treat it always like that. For example, I think that is what is explained in this shloka. See, where you will treat a Brahmin differently, you will treat a cow also differently. Right? You cannot make the cow sit under some place and say that, okay, now you start saying the Vedas. Isn't it? It won't be able to say, because
then,
the form that it is in right now, although it is Brahman, the form that it has taken right now has its limitation, isn't it? A cow cannot speak. It has 4 legs. Whereas a Brahmin, you cannot tell the Brahmin also to go and do the job of a dog eater. Correct? So in that form, there is some evolution also that is happening to the form itself, where the Brahman is, through which the Brahman is shining. So the light is the same in everything, but depending upon the form, it will shine in a different way, isn't it? For example, in your house itself, the same electricity is same, but then fan is giving a different output, light is giving a different output. It is not the same, although the electricity is same. So that is what I mean here, that by seeing the divine in everything, or Brahman in everything, means there is one light consciousness which is operating through all this. However, depending upon the form, it is shining differently, or it is showing different colors to us. So when we interact on an external level with that, you can only expect that from it, and either see, for example, a light. You put on the switch, it will light. The light is used for certain purpose. The purpose for which the light is used is completely different from the purpose for which we use the fan. So like that, each form has its own work, isn't it? A dog is very loyal and it is not going to give you milk. That is the limitation of its form. However, a cow can give you milk. It can give you many things which is useful to human beings. So that is its form. The function of that form is different. However, the consciousness that is operating through all this is the same. But just because I see the Brahman, or I can see the consciousness in all, doesn't mean I'm going to treat a cow and a Brahmin in the same way. I have to look at the form and then treat it accordingly, depending upon whatever is coming to me at that moment. But I should have the understanding in my mind that there is a divine within it. So that enables me to be kind and compassionate. That doesn't mean I'm going to treat everything similarly. That is what I'm trying to say here.
But looks like at the end, you are seeing the form and you are interacting with the form the way it is.
Yeah, obviously, no. See,
so what is
no, in the external form, in the external world, see, I am Brahman, but if somebody is trying to kill me, I will not say at that time, no, I am eternal and I will keep standing there. I cannot be killed. No sword can cut me.
didn't the Buddha do that with
Nainam chindanti.
Sorry, what you were saying?
So Buddha did that, right? When he went to the forest, when everyone said, "Don't go," he will cut. He kills people.
So for Angulimala, you're saying?
Angulimala, right? And he went there.
No, see, but see, there also, see, there are many stories of Buddha, not just Angulimala. Angulimala was a more fierce one. But we also know the story where somebody spits on Buddha's face, isn't it? Technically speaking, when we look at both the forms, we will think that Angulimala is the less evolved one because of his actions, isn't it? But it seemed that Angulimala had that understanding. He was at the evolution where he could understand when Buddha said
But
something to
that
him.
is after listening to the story you are saying. But like, let's say you are going
No,
through.
no, see,
Let's
see,
take
from
your case.
Buddha.
You are walking through that place,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
somebody
no, no,
says, "Don't go."
no, I'm getting your point. From
Okay.
Buddha's perspective, he has behaved the same in both the instances. He tried to be the same to both of them. But how it impacted the other is depending upon their external form. They have not understood that they are Brahman, no? See, everyone, see today in our group itself, all of us, we come to Vedanta. So we know I am Brahman, but in my family, everyone is not doing Vedanta. So they don't know. So the only person where I only can see that, I only can try to see that, because even though I am not realized, at least I know that that is the essence of everyone. Yes, I can try to tell it to all 5 members of my family. 2 may accept it, 2 may completely reject it, but that is their point of view. I can only talk for myself. I can only behave for myself. I am only responsible for my actions. So, as far as I am concerned, I should see the divine in everyone, that there is a common oneness in all. However, whatever form is coming and interacting with me, because ultimately in this world, we have a form and we have a label according to which we are acting and interacting. So that is going to be there. However, that also can change, no, depending upon your perception. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Padmaji. So yeah, let's listen from Isha ji, and we'll go. Hey, Isha ji.
Okay. I will start, Tarun, and just give me like a second. Okay, I think in previous shlokas, previous classes, we were speaking about, how we see divine in everything. Every I think I forgot the shloka. That's what I was trying to recollect. But yeah, that shloka actually meant that, how everything has a divine power. No, that's what we said. When you say namaste or hari om, we are actually bowing down to the divine in them, not to the human body, but in divine.
Yeah.
Then previous shloka, we learned how there are 4 categories of people. So it is not like, who is better one at all. It is just depending upon what each one is doing. So it was in that, I think the discussion was about like what is Shudra's work is more about caring nature. Like that we have Vaishyas who is into business. Like that when we came to Brahmin, it was like it's not about who's doing puja or anything. It's more about knowledge of all the work, what a Kshatriya has to do, what a Vaishya has to do, what a Shudra has to do, and taking up the responsibility as and when the demand is there for that. In case the demand is for serving, he has to become a Shudra. In case the demand is for Kshatriya or a warrior, he has to become a Kshatriya. So that was the 4 divisions. Here it's I feel my picture changed. Yeah, this not 1 second. Yeah, this is today's shloka. I think here also it is connecting to that, where we say that the only person who has the knowledge, saying that there is good or there is divine in everything, but is somebody who has seek that knowledge. In case we have to see the 4 divisions like that, who understands each one's responsibility, like who understands this person. Imagine a person who's cleaning toilets. We know his job is cleaning toilets. Yes, he might be dirty, he might not come to Veda class, but yeah, we have to recognize the divine in him. Like that, when you go to a lion also, we know that lion will eat us if you go and stand in when it's hungry. See, so but yeah, that's the nature of an animal. Here the nature of elephant or the nature of a dog eater or the nature of a dog itself. Naturally, everything has a divine, is what I feel this shloka is talking about. So it all depends on, your understanding that we can see the divine in them.
So are you able to, outside this class in real life, are you able to see everyone equally as divine manifestation? Divine is there in everyone and treat them equally?
I cannot 100% say I treat everybody equally, but I definitely start off, Sarvananji, trying to say that, there is nothing called ugly, beautiful. Everything is a creation, right? Everything is being created. So, it's something which you like, you may not like. Like if I like red color, I like red color. Nothing to do with green is ugly. It's certain. No, I don't want. It's all about certain preferences. So anytime, personally, if you're asking me, yes, I try to treat a person as a person itself. Like, if they are doing something, I will try to analyze, saying that, okay, they are doing something because like this things have happened. So if a kid is naughty, so imagine a kid is cranky, for example, that I'm saying, if I see a kid throwing tantrums, a toddler or something, so the first thing that comes is, the kid might be hungry. The kid, most of the children I know from personal experience, they cannot speak and they cannot say, they won't come and say, I am hungry, give me food. So they start crying. Okay. Or if there's something is irritated, the clothes, we usually dress them up very nicely. It might not be the comfortable dress for them. Or they're bored, grown-ups, when they are bored, you will say, hey, go man, I want to sit alone. But children, they don't have the privilege of saying, they're not supposed to get bored also, right? They're supposed to just do what adults tell them to do. So they're bored also. For everything, the reaction is cry and throw tantrums. I feel that, when I see people, after I became more mother, actually, I changed more because I can understand. I feel having one tiny little human, you'll understand humans little better. So we all were children, right? We all have such feelings only, just that we have grown into an adult body now. So I feel that, yeah, there is lots of background to somebody acting in a certain way. But as a human, I have limitations for my patience. So after a certain time, I stop interacting. I don't have hate. I don't have, what is that? Vengeance against them. I don't take revenge. I don't do all such things. I just stop, And personally, I don't have any ego. If you are not talking to me after 10 days, and 11th day, if somebody says, ask Sarvananji if he's, if he has something, and I will just call and say, like, do you have? It's okay. If you don't talk to me, I have no issues.
Very nice.
I feel I am me. Your reaction is not me. This one I have understood very well, personally.
She's already Brahman. Yes, realized Brahman.
No, Shubhaji, this is from personal experience. What I know is my happiness, my sadness, my anger is within me. I don't give control to any human on my emotions.
You're in the right path of realization.
But again, a similar question. But when you deal with the world, you come across so many people who, like, let's say, government office, not doing some like the work that they are supposed to do. You get angry, or you see people hurting others through violence, guns, or like people who are talking a lot of bad things to incite violence or to get votes. Are you able to see everyone as divine at that time?
No. I don't see it. As far as, this karmic duty is considered, I don't see any divine in Rahul Gandhi and all. Okay, I don't see.
So, okay, now that like the reality is out, let's talk.
No, I'm saying I don't see. See, that's what I'm trying to say, Sarvananji. If you're talking about me and as somebody personal to me, I can sit and put something, say, so imagine Padma ji only. See, Padma is my relative, okay? So, so I imagine me and her, we don't contact, we don't speak 10 days, 100 days, 10 years also, 100 years and all is too much. Say 10 years all we haven't spoken. So it is fine. I can still say, okay, I know Padma, she's so and so person, not fully, but yeah, I can say that she she's married to this. Like somehow connect. I don't mind connecting. It's a personal thing. If I have anything with her, I can still see divine in her. I'm just giving an example in case something has happened. So, like that, I have friends, I have my neighbors, I have somebody, before 20 years who was my schoolmate. Everything is okay. That is personal to personal. Yes, I can see divine. But if you're talking as a whole, now if I'm talking about somebody, I have no connection. If, for example, I have no connection with this guy, okay, zero connection with Rahul Gandhi on a personal level. Why I cannot, because globally, I only think about my country, and is he good for my country or bad? Is he good for 1.3 billion or not? Depending on his history of how he works. I don't know personally. See, so many times I feel sorry for him, saying that again as a mother, I feel very sorry for him, saying he's come from a very protected background, right? See, our children go and play. That fellow, when he has to go, they sent 10 securities. All his karma and his parents' karma that they have, that is different story. But still the child hasn't seen life. And then he wants to, become prime minister of 1.3 billion. It's so stupid. Everything is stupid. But now he is grown up. So I feel that, no, I somehow feel he has to just go somewhere, disappear from the earth. That's all I wish. That's what I'm saying. I still feel that he can be given a chance, but not to rule a country. Yeah.
So you at some point of time, you don't see the divine in all.
Not sometimes. I do see some divines need to reach the divine power only. It cannot be with normal souls. That's what. See, now if you're telling like that, when if you give me a gun and if I'm a soldier, if I keep saying I'm seeing divine, I can't kill the other person, how does it work? It doesn't work, right? Have to do what is needed at that particular time to do. So depending on my work and my condition, again, I'll say again, soldiers don't have any enmity personally. But he has a... So like that, it happens.
Shivaji, you have questions with...
I somehow I agree with her, because not though we say we see divine in everybody, but yes, we have not reached that stage of Brahman that we see divine in everyone, because we have our own things. Say, for example, how she took an example. Maybe somebody who has done something, or for that matter, even the terrorist, if you say, we don't see the divine in them. If they are divine, they wouldn't be doing all these things, right? So yes, that is something, a point to think about, because we don't see divine in them.
And that is the thing. See, the electricity is the divinity we are talking about, right? Depending upon the form and the purpose for it, it is functioning in a certain way. Okay. Now, so it has its use, and some things cannot be used also. And some things again can be used in two ways, right? For example, a gun in the hand of a soldier, like she gave the example.
Yeah.
It is useful. It is used to protect our country. But the same gun, when you are handing it over to someone like a terrorist, he is not going to use it for the betterment of others, isn't it? His purpose is destruction. So from that purpose only, I said that, see, form and nature is completely different. But the existence behind them, the consciousness that is functioning is the same. Only that can be pure, because that is not colored by what is your experience, what is your past karma. That has all got nothing to do with that electricity, isn't it? That is just energy form. It is only a form. It will shine wherever. Like, for example, the sun, right? So sun is shining brightly on a house of a beggar, in a house of a rich man, in the house of a terrorist also.
Yeah.
Because the sun is not going to discriminate. But
Mm.
depending upon where it is shining and what are the conditions there, the results are different.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that is the thing there. That is why I said, just because you see divine, that there is a divinity behind them, you cannot treat everyone the same way. Okay. So when now that we understand all this, somebody is alive itself because of that divinity, isn't it? If there is no consciousness, the essence is not there, they are not going to be alive. Then forget about whether they are soldier, terrorist, or whoever it is, dog or cat, anything. So that is pure. That is pure at purest possible. But when it shines through something, then it takes that color, that shape, that form. Then it starts to get all this whatever. In many cases, in cases of human beings, it can be conditionings, it can be karmas, it can be all those things. But
Mm.
at a basic level, essential level, it is pure, it is divine. That's all. So like she told an example of all of us,
Mm.
we can only, we are only accountable from our part, isn't it? Like she said, if I call Sarvananji after 10 days, I may not have problems, I may not have ego, I will go and connect with him. But if he has a thought that, see, Arey, this person did not contact me for 10 days, huh? Now suddenly they want something, so they are coming and calling me. If they think like that, their response to my question will be very different, isn't it?
Mm.
However, if he is not of that kind, then there is no constraint at all. There is no resistance at all there. It will flow smoothly. So this thing, you can only put that question to Saravananji after 10 days. But how he behaves, that is not under your control. So the first step you can take with the consideration that there is a divine or there is nothing from my side. But suppose he speaks very rudely to you, he behaves very nastily. What he's thinking in his mind, he also says it out to you. Then to further continue that, or you don't want to continue, that is also in your hand, isn't it? You get both the choices.
Mm.
Hmm.
At any
That
point of time, will there be a confusion that at this time should I treat this person as divine or the form? This
No,
person.
see, that is why I said, see, there is a divinity in all. Even us, within us, there is divinity, okay? But we cannot for sure 100% say that we are behaving like that all the time. It
Mm.
will take practice, isn't it? We know theoretically now that there is a divine bit behind everyone. But in that particular moment of, or in a particular situation, depending upon whom we are interacting with, we may also not act divine all the time. But I think it also comes with practice, I feel. How will you keep, I mean, if you are not letting that change happen within you, there is no way you can see divine in anyone, isn't it? Forget about others, even your own family members. In fact, I feel that it is easy to see a divine in a stranger rather than seeing a divine within your family. I think that's more difficult because
The
you
more
know
you
them.
know, the more you know, the more
Because you
color.
know them inside out, right? So it is more difficult to see a divine within your family members, some of them. So that's not my point is, it is the divinity that we hear in this shloka, that they are trying to say something pure like electricity. So that is not corrupted at any point of time, in whichever form it is. But depending upon the form, your treatment cannot be same. Just because there is divinity in all, you cannot treat everyone similarly. That's what I was saying. So I think that is the essence here, no? For
Okay.
example, if you take the exam Mahabharata war itself, it
Uh-huh.
is not between some other person. It is within the family, extended family. Still, Krishna went on and told him, kill everyone. So he so boldly said it, and Arjuna also finally accepted it, right? Because he could see sense in that. He could see the meaning behind that. So So that is what he was also trying to say, that at soul level, all of them are pure. They are not going to be killed. However, the form and the this thing that they are functioning in right now, that has to be killed. The form of ignorance, the form of hatred, the form of jealousy, ego, greed that they are exhibiting through that forms, that has to be cut.
Yeah.
It is not actually the person that they are cutting. So you have to see it from a adhyatmika perspective only. Then only you can, the meaning will be clear. We cannot just take all this at face value. If you take it at face value, all this picture, then what you will do? Then you yeah. So it's like that. In this video, Guruji will talk about the lion. No, like you can't go and do a namaskara to a lion. You won't have your head after a while. Lion will not see divine in you. He can only see, wow, nice shape of meat and flesh here. 2 days I don't have to eat. That is what lion will see. So we'll be gone. So that is what I was also coming to. I think to a large extent, I think we all understand that. Even what Isha was saying is something similar only on these lines. I can only vouch for my behavior. I can say a little bit about with whom I know to a certain extent. Maybe few people I know more better. Few people I may not know so well, but to a large extent, I can make out how they will interact with. So based on that, I will keep myself clear. I will function in my way, in the correct way. How I get reaction from them, then my further course of action will depend on that. That can be one way to like generalize it, how you want to behave. Okay. And then like Shubhaji said, you always have the option of not communicating with them any further if you don't want to. To avoid all the, all the constraints that are coming.
It brings ragadvesha, right? Then you cannot run away from someone because it is all divine only.
No, just the way we run away from a lion.
Yeah, see, you won't stand in front of the lion,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
You will bow down, you will say namaskara from very far, maybe from sitting in a bus, I don't know, somewhere in the, you might be in a cage if the lion is free. You can do namaskar from the cage, knowing that it cannot attack you. That's all. But when you cannot go and do it in front of the lion. So that's what its nature is there. The nature of the form, the way it functions, it is all there. So you cannot neglect that and say that I can see only the divine. Yes, but you can have the basic compassion and kindness towards everyone. That is definitely our choice, I feel. So even if I have, say I am not getting along with someone, okay, I don't have to go and deliberately be rude with that person. Like you said, that raga, dvesha, which is there within me, I can bring it down. I can neutralize it and bring it down to a level where I don't have raga, I don't have dvesha also. I can just be neutral to them. I can be nice to them because kindness is what? Good. Kindness is what? Kindness is the right thing to do. So I can do that. But if somebody is not responding to me in a similar way, then I have a choice whether to walk away from there or to want to stay there and continue what is going on, isn't it? I can either aggravate it. That choice falls within me. So that's why you can only see, you can manage to see the divine only from your perspective. You cannot expect, just because you are seeing the divine, you cannot expect that that person also will see the divine in you and behave with you like that. So the only person we can always talk about is us. No, I cannot vouch for anyone. Even though we are all in this satsang, we are all not same, isn't it? I cannot say that Shubha will react like this only, Isha will say this only, Saravanan will say this only. Here we are all, like you always say, no, Saravananji, we are all very good in the satsang. We are all enlightened here. When satsang finishes, when we say Hari Om, then our real swarupas come out. then we are truly what, lion, tiger, whatever we are. So that's what comes out later.
Well,
So,
that's why this sloka has come at the right time, right? It tells you like how you are able to see outside.
yeah. So so that's one thing we all have to, and it's work in progress only. All this is work in progress. It cannot happen in one day, because we have also been conditioned. We are used to seeing things a certain way. To make a change, it will take time, I feel.
Okay.
Mm.
Mangalaji, do you want to share now?
No.
ಅವರು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಬಂದ್ರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅವರು ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರು, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಬಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ?
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಓಕೆ.
ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಚಿತ್ತಪ್ರಜ್ಞ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You know, when Padmaji spoke about, after a certain level, we cannot see the divine. After that, I just remembered today I was talking to my son about, I have no idea. I was talking, I don't know what was it, but we were speaking about, he asked, how dare they make Delhi capital? It is nothing to, it is not even nice, capital of a country should be the city. So it is supposed to be Bangalore or something. It cannot be Delhi. So I was just explaining him how finishers get all the credit, independence and all, getting away from slavery was a so many years battle. But obviously the finishers who stayed alive got all the credit. The last 2-3 people. So I was like saying, when he said, no, did India get independence because of non-violence? That's what people made us believe, right? So we saw divine and we said, no fighting, let's not kill. But did they see? They just killed us, So somebody will say, don't kill. That person was alive and rest of us died. We can't see. Sometimes we are not, we have to do what is to be done. So if you go with a blind faith, it was easy to sell such things, I feel, Sarvananji. From the book, if you like the way they sold that 4 categories of humans are saying, Bhagavad Gita says there is caste and one person is down, one person. So it was very easy like this to say that, see divine in a person. Don't kill him, don't hurt him. Actually,
it is not just kill and hurt, right? See divine in person, don't kill, don't hurt. No, it's not just.
Don't hurt, don't treat. No, I feel this. No, we know that it is not that. But I think it was, these things were sold at face value, saying, you are Hindu, you shouldn't do like this. For a longest time, many misinterpretation happened. One such, I feel, is this also. This non-violence is something as if we have copyright to.
Yeah, so if you see divine, you don't want to hurt, and like you want to, you feel that like it is because of their ignorance, you try to then educate them.
Certain level you educate them, na? After that, I think education stops and action should start.
Yeah. No, that is correct. One more aspect what I feel is, see, now all the scriptures, we don't regularly read it. Okay, we have not read it. So anyone who has read it or claims to read it says something about it, because we don't know anything, because we have not read it. We just accept it, like you said, on face value. Okay, that is also there. So we it is a right thing that we question. Only when we question, we will truly go and see, okay, what is exactly written there. Because somebody is saying something, but that has not been the norm, isn't it? That's why now there are many claims about how our history was distorted, how we have been, shown this picture about this people, and how certain people have been conveniently omitted also out of the entire freedom struggle and all that. That is because we didn't take the pain to know about all this, and neither did we take interest to study all that. And what was given to us as part of academics was completely distorted. So that is what is conditioning, isn't it? Ultimately, what is repeatedly being told to you, you start believing it after a certain point of time. So the only way to change it, it's not going to happen overnight, because we have studied something for 15 years. We have done the same thing again and again. So to suddenly change it, it is not going to be easy, because the mind is that kind of a complex thing. So you need practice. You need to keep on revisiting that. No, what I learned is wrong. So I have to unlearn it now. Before even I can put something else in, the unlearning has to take place. So I feel that is why, it is important that more and more of us get into this. If we have gotten into it, at least who are under our control, like our children, who are still listening to us, at least we can share with them that, okay, this is available. You don't have to listen to what I say, but at least take the pain of reading it whenever you're free. See what is really true before you believe someone else saying to you about it. So many people, I feel that even people who are not even Hindus or even from India have spoken about Gita. Some things may have been right, but there has also been information which is not correct also. Or maybe their understanding was only that much. We don't need to even blame them. Maybe their understanding of that particular thing was only that much. Like you said about the 4 varnas, it was never based on what caste you are. It was based on the kind of work you are doing. But however, till I studied Gita, we have been painted that kind of picture only. We didn't know this version, okay? So at one point I even thought, how can God itself say these things? Right? Someone whom we believe that he is impartial to everyone, even to a terrorist, he is impartial. Then how can we believe that he has created this kind of caste system? But we don't dwell on those questions very seriously now. But when we are learning about all this in Gita and other scriptures, it prompts us to think that way, that okay, so this is not correct. This, what was said to us, was wrong. This is not what the scriptures are saying. It is saying as a way of work, what kind of work you are doing. Right? So somebody in those days, somebody who was imparting jnana will normally not have such, he will not, because he has spent time too much in studying, he may not have had time to, learn the sword or anything. So that job automatically went to the kings and the warriors of those time who were trained specifically in it. And some people were into only business. Those are Vaishyas. It's not coming from because you're in this community, you are doing that job. It's been wrongly conveyed to us. So now that understanding is clear only with jnana. That's why only jnana can clear that ignorance. Only jnana can wipe it out.
Okay. Shubhaji, you want to share something before?
I think everything is clear, covered.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Padmaji put it beautifully. And
Yes.
Ishaji also shared a couple of things. Yeah.
Okay, then maybe I'll just take a few minutes. The way I like the change that this Gita study has made me is like in different occasions where people, it can be kids or like my engineers or my peers or my bosses or relatives, right? What they say, if that affected me. Now, what I see is I'm just like able to slow down and try to think from the perspective why somebody is coming with that kind of a response or a statement, and like see how I can treat them with interest, with respect, which makes a change, right? Even if like some example maybe like at work, somebody is like very furious and like emotionally comes and let's say starts raising voice and this that. Outside this study, like I would have also reacted, right? What I see is okay, maybe like the way I'm trying to see is like it's the same. I keep telling myself, again, Brahman has come in this form now. Okay, let me listen, right? And so try to listen and see how I can give a different perspective, like in which like it's more of due to the ignorance. You see, the way I take it is like due to ignorance what people respond. Right. And if I'm able to, if I can see everyone as Brahman, then irrespective of how they treat, maybe I can handle in a different way. Right. And I agree, as Ishaji said, somebody in that form may look unqualified for something. Right. And yeah, that form can have, it's a form. The form can have limitation, right? What we are treating as the Atma is beyond the form, right? So which is fine. We are not, we cannot, I think it's a knowledge that every form is alive because of the divine, right? And as long as I don't mistreat that form for personal gain, like what we call adharma, right? I think that's where I try to draw a line and say like don't mistreat or don't do adharma, treat everyone with respect, or like as long as we do dharmic things, I think it settles. It settles. Like you kind of end up treating equally. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Padmaji?
Yeah, absolutely true. Yes. When you say that also, see,
Uh,
the idea behind that is, I don't want to treat others the way I don't want to be treated, right? I don't
yeah.
want them to treat me. So in that also, you are having one kindness and compassion, isn't it?
Yeah, like another example,
Because
right? The dog itself, right?
sometimes you may not want to be that way, but still you are choosing to be dharmic there.
Yeah.
Because the idea behind that is, how will I feel if I was treated like that? So that stops you there, isn't it? So I think that's absolutely correct what you said.
Yeah, another example I want to share, right? We didn't have dog as a pet. So throughout my most of my life, I have grown without dogs, and then like in the last maybe 20 years, what I've started seeing is like many have dogs with them, right? And it can be and huge and big. So when you are coming from a background where you have not you not had a dog as a pet, right? Initially it used to scare, or like how it will react. And these days it kind of like I kind of try to talk to the dog, saying like, okay, uh, I'm your friend. So like, or like I'm trying to see like give respect to that and say like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Right. And
No, it is something similar to Vijay sir's story, of Acharya Vinay Vinaykar. When he goes to that forest, he encounters a group of monkeys.
Yes.
And how he See, in that space, I think that story highlights beautifully how he saw the divine in them. And that is why he was able to say something like that to them. A request coming from his heart touched their heart, even though they couldn't understand the language per se. And then
Exactly.
they gave him way because they somehow sensed that he's not here to harm us. So I think that's a beautiful story for this shloka, I think.
Yeah.
He should have
Yeah.
been. Maybe next week we'll ask him to say that story.
So yeah, so that's yeah. I just remembered that, like, so somehow, like, these days I say that, yeah, it is same divine, right? So no fear, and like, uh, I am not here to harm, or like, you don't need to. I don't need to get scared. But yeah, it's not a lion. It's still a
Yeah,
dog.
maybe when we see the divine, the fear disappears.
Uh,
That
I
is
think,
one thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe in another way, the ego surrenders, or to the divine. So ego disappears. Then when ego is not there, ego is the one. Actually, ego is the one who's seeing this difference and all, right?
Mm.
Right.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
right. When the ego disappears, then there you go. The whole thing has merged. There is no separation. Uh, and these days, I maybe consciously, I try to see if I can drop that ego even when I'm talking to people, and see if the whole situation changes. Like, instead of taking a role, okay, when somebody is talking with whatever is the context, right? You become part of it, then there is that oneness. There is no differentiation, right? Me and the other. Uh, yeah. So main thing was to see, like, do I have to remember the divine, or like I'm able to uh, see the tricky thing is with the form. You like, can I see or remember the divine all the time, because the form has taken so much prominence with the way it expresses, right? Which is what the senses are all the time feeding, right? So it is actually the senses which are feeding, and like, and mind, based on the past recordings, it's just labeling each and every stuff, right? If not for that coloring of the mind, you will not see the separation also, right? Why will you say that lion will hurt me, or elephant without the mahout will hurt? um, maybe like you can try standing quietly near that elephant, and maybe it will come and stop in front of you.
Yeah, it might. So that's the thing. You should be brave enough to try it also, no?
So who was that brave? So finally, going back to our Vedanta, it's that
Yeah,
ego.
that's why I said it's a work in progress, right? Like you said, from being being able to go near dogs, you are able to go. That means there itself you are dropping certain things. That's why you are
Mm,
able to approach them.
mm,
In a few years' time, maybe you will even be able to pet them, or you might have them as a pet also. You never know that. Yeah.
mm,
Like, because I have a dog at home, I know
mm.
he can even understand your moods, and he will behave accordingly to your mood. You don't need to say something.
Because
And
it's
I've
the
also
divine is
noticed
there.
that, huh?
Because divine is there. Divine, that is also
Yeah,
divine.
and no, divine is there, but there is some Shakti within them. No, otherwise, see, scientifically they are classified to not understand any language. Okay, not understand any language, not have all those extra features that we have. But then when I interact with them, sometimes he's better than many human beings who interact with.
Because the ego, I guess,
Yeah,
ego.
he shows more love, compassion, and kindness towards you, even though he's not supposed to technically show all that scientifically, but he does.
Mm.
So yeah, So in when you see such behaviors, then you are somewhere you are forced to believe, isn't it? Without that higher power within him, why is he that way? That makes you think. So through that instrument, which is supposed to be limited, when so much can come out, what can come out of an evolved instrument like us? So what is the obstacle there? That's what we have to think about. Yeah. So
Yeah, the
that's
mind
how-
is governed. It's
Yeah,
like
so that's how
deeply
I
colored mind.
yeah
Deeply colored mind.
question.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Shall we
We
end
will
it?
continue
Yeah.
with Vijayji. Okay. Hari Om. So we will end the session here.
Hari Om, sir.
We'll start with Santoshji.
Yes, Sarvan. So, what I understand from this shloka is the person who is educated, it could be anybody, and the person who eats this dog meat, or in other way, if I wanted to tell, I would like to tell one Zen master story here. Okay, a Zen master comes to a kingdom where the queen will be impressed by his teaching, and she will actually give him a golden that bhiksha patra, whatever we say. So he says there is no point in having this bhiksha patra. Okay, but still she forced him to take it, so he takes it. But on the way, one thief will saw all this conversation happening, and he come to steal that particular bhiksha patra. So he actually noticed everything, and he goes to his house, and then immediately this guy will be waiting for him to sleep, but he will not be. Then immediately he call the thief inside, and he will tell, rather than asking me, I mean, you actually stealing this particular patra, I would like to voluntarily give you. So the thief will be very much happy. Every house, wherever I go, if people started giving me like this, I'll be very happiest person in this world. Then he takes it. But one thing, if the monk says to him, like whenever you start stealing, you have to remember this. Remember me. Like why you are stealing. He says, okay, fine, and he go. And then fine, what happened? Next day again he start the same thing. But whenever he try to steal, again you will remember his words, and he will be stopped there. I mean, he will not have that art to dare to steal. Again, this goes on for a couple of days. And then finally he'll be back to the monk, and he'll say, see, this is what you told, and I'm not able to do that. So then he actually surrendered to the master, and he will also get the jnana. Ultimately, the queen, who was humble and who offered him that gold, he also, the monk or a jnani, sees him the same way, and the robber who came to steal that particular ornament or a patra also sees that monk sees in the same way, which means the jnani doesn't differentiate between a avidya or vidyā-sampanne. He actually sees everybody. It could be animal, it could be everything in the world as a Brahman or sarvam kalvidam Brahma, and he actually accepts everybody as the same way. This is what I understand. I mean, this just really triggered somewhere. I read it, and I just thought of to share it.
That's fine. So this is about a jnani you are saying. So how
Yes.
how do we apply this to ourselves, to you? How do you apply this?
It is same, like even we are on the path of learning the I mean, mastering the jnana or whatever it is. You will have to practice this in our day-to-day activities. Like yes, it is very difficult because we have raga dvesha. We like him, you don't like him. We like only people who are very educated and who XYZ, and we don't like a person who lies us, or who disobey us. I mean, we need to keep everything aside, and we should just see him as a in the Sakshi Baba, and whatever the innermost thing what he has, and the Sasarupa, whatever that he and me are one. In that way we should see, but it is very challenging. We will have to try to be in that way.
Okay. We'll come back after hearing others also. Krishna ji.
Yeah. My audio is clear, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So how I'm looking at this is like, or interpreted the way is like, so it's the same source of creation, but with the different forms, and each of the forms like Brahmin, Jnani, cow, and dog eater have some kind of karmas to do, but the Jnani, having this divine knowledge, after understanding and realizing that this is just a role and we are the noticer, or who notices this thing, will see everyone, every creature around as that. So that's how this sloka I interpreted. So to me personally, to take away, or how apply this is right, week ago or twice a week before in my work life, something was quite logically it was quite opposite, but still mm, uh,
Krishna ji, we cannot hear you. The last 30 seconds.
I initially, right, so couldn't have one. It was basically it was the opposite. Okay, 1 second. How about now, Sarunji?
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you repeat the last 30 seconds? I think you were trying to about work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was saying that, so in a work, so how did I take this, or how do I interpret in my day-to-day life, right? Or how do I apply this in my day-to-day life? So there was a situation 2 weeks before, I think, so which was turned kind of dissatisfied kind of opinion, or something happened with my workspace, or those things, right? So initially it was like I was focusing on the work, and like data person, though I was not completely uh, uh, got like attached to the result, though the result came out was completely opposite or not expected one in the logical mind. So at that point of time, like I felt very shocked, something, or 2 days, right? I realized, okay,
Again, we lost
there
you,
is
Satish. Sorry, Krishna ji.
something this is teaching, and it's trying to teach me something kind of thing. So that's how I relate this one. So everything is happening for a reason. Logical thinking too much. I don't know what's the issue. How about now?
So you're saying you had a situation, and though it was not as you expected, so you took it in a positive way, that the situation is trying to teach you something.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So coming, but I'm not sure how you're applying to this particular verse, like where it's saying that when you see different forms, um, see the one behind all the forms, and not the difference, right?
Yeah. So
And we
initial,
in day-to-day
at
life
the
we see different people, and as Santoshji said, to some you get attracted, so to some you don't have good connection, relation, or you get upset or you get angry. Normally, for a normal being, right? And how do you plan to apply the teaching from this verse? It looks like there's still audio problem with Krishnaji. Yeah, maybe we'll come back. Satishji?
Yeah, Hari Om. So my understanding is like same what Krishna ji was saying. It's all it's a role play. It's a sort of taking it as part of fitness, and I mean the on the yeah, core part it is all the Atman. There's just playing another role for its own reasons like karma and other things. But basically, it is the same soul across. Be there. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the shloka is saying. And how do you plan to apply this to the day-to-day life?
Well, I mean, material, if I am not able to gratify some things, right, when in comparison with my peers or my, colleagues or my friends of the same age, what they have accomplished or not accomplished from my end. So at the same, I mean, I want to take it in this way. And try to say that that's all artificial layers or material way of looking things, but ultimately it is temporary, and what is permanent is our soul, and that is what is reflecting across everyone.
And is it like you are already applying? You are already following this, or like?
No, see, applying in a sense, I mean, mood swings, and when I'm quite dejected, I may, come. I mean, that what you call sthita pragna may happen or may not happen. But if I deeply think and get into, I mean, even in the first class, this is what I was discussing. Like, so should I go to this what so called? Will this be called comfort zone or what? We were discussing in the very first class the same thing. So should again we finally had a conclusion there that we have to do our karma, and the results can be anything, and we have to move on. So that's where I go back.
Okay. So here, if you see being at work or outside, you see now different people doing different things, talking different ways, right? So this is something like one goes through almost every moment, and like being able to and trying to see that, what, that person may be doing something wrong, or like talking not so nice things, but there is Atma behind him as well, and so let me forgive him. Is it something like you will be able to see like that? And it's open to all, anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and on the other end, you would also see our because of this baseline. I think we as a whole country, right? We got attacked and we were ruled upon. I mean, because of that thought process, sometimes I tend to get into that direction. We are so acceptive and we are receptive, everything, and all this. Some, but again, it comes back to like what are we applying based on the situation that this shloka here. But maybe it's somewhere else. Bhagavanta has already said you'll have to take viveka into consideration and apply what is required where, and give back the right what you call treatment or purpose is what should be applied. But that's where I mean it shouldn't be selective or like you take which shloka or the whole learning or how we apply.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let me share my view. And basically, this helps to treat everyone, everything with respect, right? Be it different people. Sometimes when we look at people who are not like us, it seems to be like there's a difference, right? And so this particular shloka explains clearly that there is only one divine behind everything, in the creation, not just people, be it animals, plants, trees, and mountains. And I think in in our culture they have followed that for long, where they used to respect and pray all the things in nature, right? Rivers, mountains, trees, animals. And only thing is, at some point of time, I think the knowledge was forgotten, and the um, the caste system became was interpreted in a wrong way, and that led to all the problems. And that's because the knowledge, the real knowledge that was given was forgotten. And with what we are doing now, we are like going back and learning um, the reality behind every creation, which is there is divine only, right? And that helps to basically treat everyone with respect at home, at work, right? And this is something like we were discussing in the morning as well, that it's not about what to expect from others, or what they do. At the end of the day, it is I am the receiver. I am the one who's seeing this, the world, the creation, and it is my interpretation of the world. And if I interpret what the senses see with the right knowledge, then like you will be in sync with the creation, and there will be no this difference, which the difference is what always causes the disturbance, right? So that way this shloka helps to explain. And as you all said, we know why there are different beings, because based on the karma, each one takes a form, and at the end, every creation goes towards the final destination only, which is realizing this true self. Yeah, that will be uh, my view. Very good. Yeah, Vijayji.
Sarvanji, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
So, we have to first of all understand here what is that equal vision, and the common question that seems to be coming up with is in terms of how we have to deal with it in our day-to-day or in our transactional life. So we need to recognize the essential, which is the underlying, which is the common, and then its appearances. So how do we deal with the appearance and how do I deal with the essence? So this discrimination has to be learned through this shloka. So here what is being said, to understand what is being said, let's look at a simple example. So, this is a simple day-to-day object. Okay, here is a tree, and here is paper, and here is book. Now, what is common among them? What is common among them is, it is the tree that has become the paper, which is made into book. Is it not? We all know that. Now, the question is, are they same? If I ask the question, are they same? At an appearance level, of course, we all can see differences. They are not the same. Tree is quite different from paper. Book is quite different from paper. So they are not the same. In what sense are they the same? They're same in the sense that they all are connected to each other. It's a tree that has become the paper. It's a paper that has become the book. Now, if I were to ask which is better among the three, what would you answer? Is any one of them better over the other? Is any one of them more or less than the other? It all depends upon the purpose for which you're looking at it, the function for which you're looking at it. So if you need shade at this time, the tree may look like the best one. If you're looking to write on something, the paper may look like the best one. If you want to read something, the book may look like the best one. So again, which is better is also an answer that you will give based on the function or the application that you have in the mind. So this is how we can see commonality as well as differences. However, when we are dealing with differences, especially when it comes to our fundamental way of interacting with the world, what is the shloka is teaching us? That the fundamental differences are actually not there. So how to understand that? So very simple. We take any life form, whether it's a bird, animal, plant, mountain, river, humans, you name it. So there are millions and millions of forms. What are they fundamentally made up of? They're fundamentally made up of what we call as the Pancha Mahabhutas, are the 5 gross elements, which is nothing but the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jala, and Prithvi. So anything that we see in this world, including this body, is made up of these 5 fundamental elements, are the Pancha Mahabhutas. So this is as far as the gross body is concerned. The form of that gross body may appear different, but it is made up of these 5 gross elements. Then there is also subtle element in any of these forms. The subtle element is what we call as the mind or the antakarana. And that also we have seen in the past. It is made up of the mana, buddhi, chitta, and ahankara. So essentially, these 5 gross elements and the subtle elements are usually counted as 2, which is nothing but the chitta, the aham, and the mana is referred as 1 mana, and then the buddhi is referred as the intellect, is separate. So usually in terms of counting, it is considered as 2. So these 5 gross elements and these 2 subtle elements, but none of these elements, as you know, as I know, are able to be conscious by themselves. For example, in a dead body also, we see all these. We see the 5 gross elements, We see the eye, the brain, the ear, and all these things, but still it is not functional. So there is something else that makes all of these come together. And that you and I know through our already current understanding of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas is nothing but the consciousness, the awareness principle. So without that awareness or the consciousness, these gross and the subtle elements, they are not functional. So the true power to function, much like how it is the electricity that makes the fan function or the fridge function, so on and so forth. It is the consciousness that is shining through the instrument called as mind and body that makes this living form functional, conscious. And this together is what is considered as the 8 elements that make up any form that you see. So now when you see any form through this lens, you can clearly see that at an appearance level also, they're fundamentally made up of the same thing. Then the other important thing, however, what makes us unique? There's still something unique. There's still, though it is all made up of the same thing, there's still something unique. And that can be understood by a simple example of prism. If the white light that passes through the prism, but at the other side, we see the rainbow colors, the 7 colors. In a similar way, it's the same divine consciousness or the awareness that shines through this mind and body. However, when it is shining through the mind and body, just like how it's the prism that splits the light, it is the content of the mind. Whatever that is stored in your own memory and your own identification, which is what is called as the aham, that makes that particular instrument, which is the mind and body, appear to have a unique set of behaviors and unique set of ways by which it expresses. That is why, though the electricity is the same, as an example, the fridge cools, the heater heats. Though it's the same divine consciousness, the dog barks, the cuckoo bird sings. And one human being may speak very nicely, the other human being may speak very harshly. So the instrument is made up of the same thing. The divine light that is shining through it is also the same. However, depending upon the identification that is in that particular body and mind, and identification with the ideas, which is nothing but the chitta, each instrument may appear different. So each human being appears to have different ways by which they interpret the same world and differences in how they bring out various kinds of expressions. So this is very beautifully illustrated in the life story of Sri Shankaracharya. There's a wonderful story, all of you may know. But before we see that story, there's a very nice movie on Adi Shankaracharya, a Sanskrit movie that was made way back by Sri G.V. Iyer. You all must watch it. In that movie, and the Sanskrit is very, very easy to understand. In fact, most of us think, oh, Sanskrit is, I don't know. But if you know any Indian language, you'll easily understand Sanskrit. Anyway, this movie is available in YouTube and it has subtitle. In this movie, when he was young, Shankaracharya, when he was young, his father introduces him to one important friend initially. And that friend, he says, is mrityu, death. He says, make friendship with your friend called death. So in that movie, this friend is always with Shankaracharya. Wherever Shankaracharya goes, you will see this friend, this actor. He appears right next to him. The others don't see him. Only Shankaracharya is able to see him. And this friend, his father, Shankaracharya's father, would have introduced him as Mrityu. So become friend with Mrityu. And whenever they are together, no, usually this shloka is also chanted in the movie. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam prati gacchati. Just like how every drop of water, wherever it may be, eventually goes and merges with the ocean, right? Just like that, all that we do goes and merges with the divine. Here divine is referred as Keshava. So this is one friend that Shankaracharya becomes friendly with. Then the other friend in the movie is called as Prajna. And this friend is introduced to Shankaracharya when he was given the Upanayana Samskara in the movie. At the time of the Upanayana Samskara is when this friend comes to Shankaracharya. So what is Upanayana? Upanayana is essentially a samskara to bring the right understanding about life, about the truth of life, about the truth of this existence. So when Shankaracharya undergoes the Upanayana Samskara, he becomes a Dvija, second born. And at that time, this friend starts appearing in the movie. And his name is called Prajna Sharma. And whenever they are together, this other chant usually appears in the movie. Vishwam Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhum. So what it essentially means is, the one who has the inner vision is the Lord of the past, present and future. So this is the background for the next short video from the life of Sri Shankaracharya. There is a beautiful situation in the life of Sri Shankaracharya where he is walking and there is a Chandala. Chandala is a one who guards the smashana. And that is the one who is also said as a dog eater, right? So let's watch this and then we can continue.
तत्र भवतो जयभेरी सर्वत्र उद्घुष्यते उद्घुष्यतां नाम तदानीं कालट्यां नचिकेतसो जयभेरी इदानीम् अस्माकं तुदीयतु सर्वानप्यतिशेते अतिशेतां नाम दीर्घं जीवनं न त्वम् अनुमन्यसे नापि वयम् इच्छामः अति दीर्घे जीविते को रमेत सज्जा वयम् ताड्यतां चरमभेरी अपसरत एषः चण्डालः आयाति अपसर
नायमपसरति वयमेव दूरतो यामः
अपसर
अपसरतु कः देहः अहो आत्मा
यदि देहः अन्नमयः सर्वोऽपि देहश्चण्डालप्रायः
यद्यात्मा स हि सव्यव्यापि केवलो निष्क्रियश्च ब्रूत कस्तावदपसरतु
ब्रह्मैवागमिदं जगच्छ सकलं चिन्मात्रविस्तारितम् सर्वं चैतदविद्यया त्रिगुणया शेषं मया कल्पितम् इत्यं यस्य दृढा मतिः सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु स तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम काश्यां हि काशते काशी काशी सर्वप्रकाशिका सा काशी विदिता येन तेन प्राप्ता हि काशिका।
ॐ श्रीयाय नमः, ॐ नारायणाय नमः, ॐ नवये नमः, ॐ भीमाय नमः, ॐ नवराय नमः.
And this is said to be the background for one of the creation that Shankaracharya created called Manisha Panchakam. So it's a shloka of about, it's a creation of about 5 shlokas. In that, he describes the Atmajnana essentially. But here, the fundamental point is, you saw that when he had that point about move away, as if he was going to become impure, his prajna moved away. His prajna moved away. And then when he realized, his prajna once again became part of him. So like that, when we are dealing with the world, most often we see only the form. We see the outer, the wrapper, the cloth, and we tend to discriminate. However, what is the underlying? The underlying is the same. So therefore, we have to develop that discrimination. At the outer layer, we have to deal with the outer in the appropriate manner, knowing fully well that deep within is the same divine. So that is what we can also learn from the story of Buddha and Angulimala. In Buddha and Angulimala story, everyone saw Angulimala as a killer. But Buddha was able to see that if I reached out to his heart, there is a nice being that I can bring out. However, in the case of Krishna and Duryodhana, Krishna also made the same effort to bring out the divine from within Duryodhana. But Duryodhana, at the end of the day, was unwilling. Angulimala was willing. So he was able to transform himself. So in the same Duryodhana, in the Duryodhana or in Angulimala also, it's the same divine. But when someone recognizes and brings out, then only the transformation can happen. So therefore, here, what Krishna is teaching us is, the one who realizes will deal with them appropriately. They know that deep within, there is a same divine, that wonderful, kind and loving being. But when you're dealing with the transactional purpose, for the transactional purpose, when you're dealing with that form, you have to deal with it at a transactional level also. So therefore, a jnani would not confuse and would bring a dog to the inappropriate places. So this is the essence of this shloka. Hari Om. Any question or any additional points?
Vijayji, I have a question.
Yeah.
As you told, in the transaction world, we need to deal with, let's consider, there is a person who had taken the money from a banker, and he is not able to return. So from the Vyavarika perspective, he has to punish him or he has to abuse him. But from the perspective of, from the perspective of self, how exactly he deals with it?
So, first of all, in that particular situation, Santoshji, depends upon what role you or what role I am playing. See, if I am the bank employee, and if let's say I am the one who's responsible for going and collecting that loan, then I have to first of all perform my duty, which is what the bank has assigned to me. I will have to go and use whatever appropriate legal means of putting the pressure on that individual to make the payment. No two ways about it. Because that is part of my duty. That is what bank is paying me for. Now, as a fellow human being, if let's say I have means of helping this person through which this person can fulfill his obligation but still be helped, then I may as well do it if I can. But at the end of the day, I should not confuse my duty, whatever I need to obligate, whatever my obligations are. I should not confuse that with my let's say out of pity, oh, there is divine. I cannot do away with my duties. So my responsibility is towards the duty as a bank employee. Now, I can also, even when I'm performing that particular action as a bank employee, deep within me, the prayer can be, oh, may this person get the best help that is possible. If I have the capacity to help, let me. Otherwise, I can always put a prayer to this person.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how one can deal with it.
Got it. Yeah, got it. Vijayji, thank you.
Yeah. So for example, Prabhuji used to be part of IT companies. In one of the role he had to play, he had to fire people. And if you ask Arjunji, who went to that particular organization at that time to interview Prabhuji, he says it beautifully. So he would ask other people, how does Prabhuji deal with all this? So what they said is, so he, as a matter of fact, sits with them, tells them the reasons for which they're being fired, and he also tells them if he has any particular suggestions how they can improve, but very calmly, without any kind of tension or anxiety or putting any tension or anxiety with them. He simply does it. That is the feedback that Arjunji received. So these are all the guidance for us, Santoshji.
Correct. Yeah, Vijay, thank you so much. Got it.
Is there anything else? Then shall we end it, Sarvanji?
Sure.
Hari Om.